Welcome to the newsroom on CNN Philippines. In the news, Tropical Storm Carding has left the country this morning, but heavy rains continue to pour and have flooded many areas in Metro Manila. While the Drug Enforcement Agency says 1 ton of shabu are now circulating in the streets, the police found party drugs worth more than ₱1 million in a buy-bust operation in Makati City. And the Environment Chief says rehabilitation of Boracay is on track, so it will be reopened as scheduled in an exclusive interview with CNN Philippines. Good evening, I'm David Santos. Thanks for joining us. Looks like rains are here to stay, even though Tropical Storm Carding has left the country. A weather official tells CNN Philippines rains may persist until Tuesday. Carding and a tropical depression outside the country continue to enhance the southwest monsoon or habagat. Red rainfall warning is up over Metro Manila and Rizal province. This means serious flooding is expected in low-lying areas and near the rivers. Moderate to heavy rains also expected over the regions of Ilocos and Cordillera, Zambales, Bataan, Tarlac, Pampanga, Bulacan, Cavite, Laguna, and Batangas. Residents in these areas are advised to prepare for possible flooding or landslides.
Itong mga pagpaulan na naranasan natin, ito yung enhanced southwest monsoon o yung habagat, dulot na itong tropical storm Carding na kung saan patuloy na magdadala ng kalat-kalat na pag-ulan. Itong mga monsoon rains over northern Luzon, central Luzon at western section ng southern Luzon. In particular, moderate to at times heavy rains yung aasahan natin.
Meanwhile, water levels at the Marikina River continue to rise, reaching up to 18.7 meters. It's now on third alarm, which means forced evacuation of residents living in low-lying areas near the river. We now speak to Marikina City Mayor Marcy Teodoro. Good evening, Mayor.
Oh yeah, good evening, David. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for taking our call. Mayor Teodoro, the rising flood waters are usually coming from the hinterlands of Rizal, but how is the weather situation in Marikina now?
Malakas yung pag-ulan ngayon dito, tuloy-tuloy, since we are on a red alert. Malakas din yung pag-ulan sa mga kabundukan na kapaligid. Inaasahan namin aabot ng 19 meters to, kaya we will be implementing another protocol pag umabot to ng 19 meters. Even yung mga assets ng local government natin, sinisecure na rin natin ngayon. At nagpo-force evacuation tayo. Sa ngayon, as we speak, David, nasa isang rescue operation kami ngayon sa isang factory dito sa Marikina in Concepcion 2 na natrap yung mga workers nila dahil mabilis na tumaas yung tubig dito.
What particular areas po sa Marikina ang gusto nating i-impose itong mandatory evacuation, Mayor? Because we don't want...
Yung mga low-lying communities natin, conventionally, ito yung mga nasa palubad sa barangay ng Nangka, Doña Petra, Ampalaya, sa barangay ng Tumana, yung barangay ng Malanday na pinakamarami ngayon ang evacuees natin, yung libis sa Bulela, Kaminahan, yung mga nasa tabing ilog, pati yung area ng Provident Village, yung barangay Tanyong. Ngayon, meron din kami isang area rito, itong Concepcion 2, lugar ng Tangerine, Lilac Street, lubog na rin sa baha itong lugar na ito.
Opo, Mayor, our emphasis is this is forced evacuation. Huwag na natin antayin na dumating pa yung point na hindi na ma-rescue itong mga residents dito, no?
Oo, nagpo-forced evacuation tayo para habang accessible pa yung mga area, makalabas pa yung mga tao, nakakapaglakad. Yung iba nga, na area natin, dahil hanggang siguro may mga 4 feet na ang lalim, apat na ruler na lalim ng tubig. Gumagamit na rin tayo ng mga bangka, mga rubber boat pag rescue.
Opo. May estimated number na ho tayo ng mga residents na evacuate or directly affected by this flooding, at saka saan sila pwedeng tumira? For the meantime.
Marami tayong mga evacuation center, no? Meron tayong 13 evacuation center. Sa 13 yon, meron tayong 7 bukas na ginagamit na ngayon, pero nakahanda na lahat ito. Marami Nangka Elementary School, H. Bautista Elementary School, CIS, Concepcion Integrated School, Pulelak Gym, Maganday Elementary School, among others.
May initial number ho ba tayo ng evacuees po, Mayor?
Sa ngayon, marami pa rin pumapasok, pero sa huling bilang natin, mga 15 minutes ago, ay meron na tayong kulang-kulang 800 pamilya, 5,000 individual.
Mukhang magdamagan tayong magbabantay nito, Mayor.
Ang sabi sa forecast ay magtutuloy-tuloy pa rin ang pag-ulan. Kaya totoo yun, magdamag at baka hanggang bukas pa.
Siyempre, Mayor, noong 2009, nang in-experience natin yung tragedy ng Ondoy, no? At nag-peak ito ng 23 meters. So, ano yung mga lessons na natutunan natin from that particular experience na, we're keeping that's keeping local officials and residents on their toes?
Ang kahandaan at ang pagkilos ay hindi lamang gagawin sa bahagi ng pamahalaan, kundi sa buong komunidad ng ating pamayanan. Ito yung natutunan natin ng Ondoy, kaya ang paghahanda ng Marikina ngayon ay kasama ang lahat, pati ang protocol natin kung saan dapat lumikas at saan dapat pumunta ay na-identify na rin natin. Kaya sa ngayon, meron din tayong mga katulong ng mga community volunteers, pati mga barangay, na tumutulong sa paglilikas, tumutulong sa pagbubuhat ng mga gamit, pag-akay sa mga bata, sa mga matatanda, may mga edad. Ganito yung nangyayari sa ngayon. Pati yung communication system natin ay nag-improve na rin. May network na tayong ginagamit na kung saan by cluster na o by quadrant na ang monitoring na ginagawa natin sa ngayon. Hindi lang pag may nag-report o may nagsabi na kailangan silang tulungan, kundi on a per area basis ay physically ay may mga tao tayong umiikot ngayon at nagpo-force evacuation.
Maraming salamat. Thank you, Marikina Mayor Marcy Teodoro. A heavy downpour brings floods. We're seeing swamped roads around the metro. We'll take you to Rojas Boulevard now in Manila. Our Trisha Terada joins us. Trisha, what's the situation in your area?
Well, David, heavy rains and strong winds continue to batter most parts of Metro Manila, and we're feeling the effects of that here on Rojas Boulevard. From where we're standing, we can see really big waves coming from Manila Bay, and these same waves spilled over onto the major thoroughfare this morning, causing some inconvenience to motorists. And as the saying goes in Tagalog, yung basurang tinapon mo, babalik sa'yo. That's what exactly happened this morning as the waves pushed over garbage onto the land. But in case you're wondering, at this time, the roads are a bit clearer compared to how it was earlier. MMDA and the Manila authorities have cleaned up the area this morning, and there's fewer trash at this time. But as you can see, variety of it, from small ones to big ones, mostly plastic, causing some trouble earlier here in Manila. And in case you're also wondering, traffic is moving light on both sides, but it's better to stay at home if possible because there are many flooded areas as of this moment. According to MMDA and QCPD, as of 2:30 p.m., Araneta Talayan is no longer passable for all types of vehicles. So as Araneta, Victory Avenue, Commonwealth Avenue, Doña Carmen westbound, and the list goes on for several areas in Quezon cities like Banawe, Retiro, Santo Domingo, Mayon, Dapitan, Kaingin, Bukid, Tabing, Ilog. Well, the next list shows that the roads are still passable, but flood is gutter deep on Balintawak, Commonwealth Philcoa, Commonwealth Tandang Sora, A. Bonifacio in Balintawak, Quezon Avenue, Biak na Bato, and Mindanao Avenue Road 16. Traffic is also quite slow on Quirino Pedro Hill northbound and Quirino Plaza de Lao northbound because of above gutter deep flood. So it's really better to stay at homes at this time because aside from these areas, we are also receiving reports of several flooded areas in Makati and different parts of Metro Manila. David?
Yes, the situation there, Mother Nature perhaps reminding us on how we should better manage our waste disposal. Trisha Tirada there reporting to us live from Manila. Now, over ₱1 million worth of party drugs were seized in a raid in Makati this morning. With this, the police vowed to intensify its crackdown against illegal drugs in bars in Metro Manila. Our correspondent Makoy Popioko tells us more.
It's a TGIF party gone awry. 31 employees of Time Bar in Makati were accosted by authorities in a buy-bust operation on Saturday morning. The police say the bar serves as a drug den for its patrons. Among the party drugs confiscated were 19 sachets of cocaine, about 20 capsules and tablets of ecstasy, and other drug paraphernalia worth more than ₱1 million. The police also found an unregistered firearm used by a bar employee.
Nagkagulo na dito, nag-itsahan ng mga nagtapon ng mga paraphernalia, pati na rin itong mga items na ito. Pagpasok natin dito, hindi natin nahuli sila sa akto ng paggamit. But as we can see here, it is being used as for using drugs, which could be considered as a drug den.
The bar manager was among those arrested but denies knowing anything about the party drug trade.
Hindi ko po alam. No comment.
More than 100 customers, about half of them are foreigners, were also brought to the police station for profiling. Metro Manila Police Chief Guillermo Eleazar says they have monitored the bar for a week. A drug suspect who allegedly frequented the bar was arrested last week, which prompted the police to pursue the buy-bust.
The manager even refused to open the vault na nakita natin sa taas. Binubuksan niya pero sabi daw nagkamali ayaw na mabuksan.
Authorities ordered the forced closure of the bar. Eleazar says they will open the vault when the search warrant gets served on Monday. Eleazar adds it's surprising to know that despite the government's aggressive war on drugs, high-end drug pushers seem undaunted. The police conducted a number of dialogues with bar owners and managers in Metro Manila in 2016. Eleazar says they will again pursue a series of dialogues with entertainment establishments.
We will be coordinating with the LGU, not only here but also on the other LGUs pa, with entertainment establishments na ipapalakas ulit natin. Ngayon bubuhayin ulit natin yun dahil kung nangyayari dito is possibly nangyayari sa ibang lugar.
While the customers were set free, the bar employees will have to cure their hangover in jail. Makoy Popioko, CNN Philippines.
In related news, the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency or PDEA says 1 ton of shabu worth ₱6.8 billion are now circulating in the streets. This after PDEA agents, with the help of the Philippine National Police, located 4 magnetic lifters in a warehouse at CRS Subdivision, Barangay F. Reyes, General Mariano Alvarez in Cavite. Authorities say traces of illegal drugs were detected in the containers with the help of sniper dogs. The PDEA says sniffer dogs. The PDEA says initial information reveals the drugs came from Taiwan and the syndicate only used Malaysia as transshipment point. The agency believes the Golden Triangle Syndicate is behind the shipment. Authorities now have 19 persons of interest, including 11 Chinese nationals. The magnetic lifters are similar to those found at the Manila International Container Terminal, where 500 kilograms of shabu worth ₱4.3 billion were intercepted. The Customs Bureau said the illegal drugs passed through Malaysia coming from an unknown country. The Bureau of Customs clarifies that it did not receive any intel information that could have stopped the shipment of magnetic lifters found in Cavite that allegedly carried 1 ton of shabu. Even though it went through X-ray scanners, officials say it would be impossible to determine if there are drugs inside. Now, Customs Commissioner Isidro La Peña has already recommended the relief of District Collector Vener Bakiran of the Manila International Container Port while investigation is ongoing. But La Peña reiterates the importance of intelligence sharing among law enforcement agencies. In this case, the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency or PDEA, if they had that information, the Customs Bureau explains it cannot just open containers without an alert order.
That's where the information is necessary. Because if we have an information that drugs are coming in a certain period of time, what I can do is order the alert of all the, if necessary, even all the shipments coming in on a certain period of time. I will not tolerate a shipment big as that to enter our country. But I did not know.
I go back to the importance of intelligence sharing. Nakita niyo po na talagang iba na rin ang sophistication at paggamit ng mga tools na ni-utilize ng drug syndicates in the smuggling of drugs into our country dahil alam nila we are tightening up our borders.
Coming up, the head of the Environment Department says the rehabilitation of Boracay Island is on track. And news overseas, a plane crashes in Seattle, Washington after a mechanic stole it from the local airport. Newsroom Weekend will be back after a quick break. Keep it here on CNN Philippines. Are we on air? Yes po. Binabati natin ang ating mga viewers sa FB Live. Siyempre, karamihan sa ating mga viewers, I understand, are coming from abroad. So ating mga kababayan, nasaan man kayo, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. At siyempre, we welcome all your messages, your greetings, as well as kung may mga tanong rin kayong gustong itanong, kaugnay sa mga binabalita natin dito, please send those questions. Also, we've been monitoring the situation here in Metro Manila kasi matindi raw ang pagbaha in many areas. Siyempre, problema pa rin ang drugs. We're also keeping track on the developments on the government's efforts or on the government's war on drugs. We have more news in store for you. So we hope you stay with us dito sa Newsroom Weekend. Hindi ko nabuksan yun. Hindi ko alam sino mga bumabati. Yun sana ang dapat. Kasi hindi ko nabuksan eh. Teka muna. Hanapin ko muna. Teka. Wait lang. Sige. We have more stories in store for you guys, no? Meron pa tayong update on the Boracay rehabilitation. Our anchor and senior correspondent Pinky Webb was in the island, so she will be giving us updates kung kailan magbubukas ang Boracay at makakapagbakasyon na rin tayo. Makakabalik na tayo sa Boracay, especially mga kababayan natin abroad. I'm sure excited silang makauwi sa Pilipinas at ulit makabakasyon sa Boracay. Also, we're monitoring the situation in US. May nag-crash down ng eroplano sa Seattle, although apparently suicidal daw yun. So it's not terrorism related. This is the newsroom on CNN Philippines. Welcome back. The Boracay Interagency Task Force says the ongoing rehabilitation work in Boracay is on track. And the chair of the task force, Environment Secretary Roy Cimatu, made the announcement in an exclusive interview with CNN Philippines. He says the team is meeting on August 26 to decide if businesses on the island can finally take reservations. Our senior correspondent, Pinky Webb, joins us from Boracay.
We have been very fortunate to be given this exclusive access to Boracay Island, which has been closed to tourists since April 26. I have to tell you, it's quite unusual to see the island this empty. Well, of course, it's been closed, and apart from that, maybe yung ilan sa inyo magugulat dahil this is not the Boracay you see. Habagat season, of course, ang lakas ng hangin, umuulan, and when you see the white beach, it's not the white beach that we're actually used to seeing. So we have been going around the island over the past few days, and we've seen much of the ongoing rehabilitation work, from construction to repairs, clearing of illegal structures, and of course, the massive cleanup efforts. More than 1,000 establishments and residences here in Boracay have been issued notices of violation of environmental laws. But Secretary Cimatu assures when the rehabilitation is complete, the new Boracay will be clean, organized, and with wider and better roads. That he assures us in our interview with him. But of course, he says the work is still far from over. The environment chief says this is only phase one. There is, of course, a next phase which will cover the illegal structures that we see in forest lands.
The interagency will work as an interagency task force for another 1.5 years.
1.5 years more.
The life of the executive order is 2 years, and 6 months lang ito rehabilitation. So we'll still have 1 year and a half. Then I hope that there will be already a legislation to find a substitute or the one that will take over our effort for Boracay.
As mentioned, we've been going around the past couple of days. We've spoken to a number of residents, and most, if not all, are eagerly awaiting the opening of the island on October 26. Of course, those of them, a lot of them were qualified to receive financial assistance under the Social Welfare Department's Cash for Work program. Well, their job, of course, to clean up. Others are doing admin work alongside the Boracay Task Force, and they are receiving Boracay's minimum wage of 323 pesos per day. In the meantime, so much work needs to be done, but as Secretary Cimatu has assured us, Boracay Island will open on October 26. That's the latest from here. Back to you.
Catch Pinky Webb's full interview with Environment Secretary Roy Cimatu on the replay of The Source tomorrow at 4:30 a.m. Part 2 will be aired on Monday, only here on CNN Philippines. In news overseas, a plane crashes in Washington state after a mechanic stole it from the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. Airport officials say in a Twitter post the plane took off without authorization and without passengers on board Friday night, with an airline employee at the controls. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office believes the mechanic's lack of flying skills led to the crash. The aircraft went down on Ketron Island, more than 60 kilometers southwest of the airport. Sheriff spokesperson Ed Troyer says the mechanic has been identified as a 29-year-old man from Pierce County. Operations at the airport are now back to normal. Still ahead, details on why a House committee is suspending budget deliberations for now. And up and away, the first Filipino-made Cube satellite has been launched to orbit. These and other stories here on Newsroom Weekend. Stay tuned. Okay. Sige, babati tayo. Yung ating may mga kaibigan tayong nanonood from Taiwan. Si Joan Su, sabi niya, La Peña, siguro referring to our story on the Bureau of Customs confiscation of, yung kanilang pronouncements regarding the drug problem. Sabi niya, La Peña should resign as what they did to Faildon. At least si Faildon, nabawi yung 6.4 billion, ikaw, hinayaan mong makawala. Okay, that's the opinion of Joanne Su. Thank you for watching Newsroom Weekend. Also, we also have viewers from KSA, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Maraming salamat for anong oras na kaya dyan. Thank you for watching us. Also, okay. Anyway, So yun, as our senior correspondent and anchor Pinky Webb just reported, mukhang tuloy-tuloy na ang pag-reopen ng Boracay. This is something that has been anticipated. October 26, so yung mga magsisiuwi, yung mga nagpaplanong magbakasyon at mga na-miss na ang Boracay, mukhang magbubukas na nga sa October 26. So we don't know kung pwede nang magbubukas na uli yung mga iba-ibang travel agencies, maging yung mga ibang tourism-related businesses in Boracay can start accepting reservations perhaps by the end of the year for November, December. I'm sure maraming, especially our balikbayans abroad na gustong mag-Boracay by December kasi uwian ito ng ating mga kababayan. Okay, may mga viewers tayo from Esperanza, Cavite. Maraming nanonood sa atin from Saudi Arabia as well as sobrang layo nito. Guagua, Pampanga. Just kidding. Tapos meron tayong from Jeddah as well as from Sweden. Si Cagayat Francisco from Japan. I presume he's watching from Japan. So we'll have more stories on Newsroom Weekend. Binabantayan rin pala natin yung extreme weather dito sa Manila, no? Kasi mukhang matindi ang flooding sa Quezon City area. Although may mga reports din that are coming from Manila as well as Caloocan and Malabon. Siyempre, binabantayan din ang Marikina River like we've reported in our top story. Magdumagan silang magbabantay doon. Patuloy ang forced evacuation. Importante itong forced evacuation because we've covered Marikina before. Ayaw na kasi antayin ng mga local officials, ng mga disaster officials doon na it will be too late to move the affected residents to safer grounds kung kailan matindi na talagang pagbaha. So ngayon pa lang, they're doing the forced evacuation just to ensure na ligtas ang lahat. The newsroom's back with more stories. The House Committee on Appropriations suspends the budget deliberations. Committee head Representative Carlo Nograles says the suspension is consistent with lawmakers' opposition to the new cash-based budgeting system proposed by the Budget Department. Nograles adds the committee is also giving budget officials more time to revert to obligation-based budgeting. On Thursday, House members of the majority and minority unanimously contested the proposed cash-based budget and asked to restore the old system. Going back to today's top stories, weather officials say heavy rains will continue to pour in some Luzon areas, including Metro Manila, due to the enhanced southwest monsoon. Red rainfall alert has been raised in Metro Manila and Rizal Province. This means serious flooding is expected in low-lying areas and near the rivers. Many areas in Metro Manila are flooded due to heavy rains. Today, the Manila Bay overflowed and brought loads of trash to the streets of Rojas Boulevard, and the water level at the Marikina River has reached 18.9 meters. That's under third alarm. We earlier spoke to Marikina City Mayor Marcy Teodoro. He said the local government is now imposing forced evacuation for residents in low-lying areas near the river. That's what's happening in the newsroom this Saturday, August 11. I'm David Santos, sitting in for Mai Rodriguez. Stay with CNN Philippines, where we tell the story of the Filipino. Good night.